When you think of stumbling upon treasures, what actually comes to mind? Many of us dream of finding something valuable in the most unexpected places. Imagine finding an item worth millions just lying around. Some have even found relics valued at $500,000 just waiting to be discovered. Whether it's archaeologists or regular people, the thrill of such discoveries is real. Meet Lawrence Kritzer from California. After a sad accident in 2007, he had a hard time with life on limited money he got because he couldn't work. But his life changed a lot when he found a similar blanket on a show called Antiques Roadshow, just like the one he had in his closet. This blanket wasn't just normal, it was very old, like from a long time ago in the 1800s, and it was made by the Navajo people. It was special and worth a lot, like $1.5 million. This was a big surprise and made his life better. Join us by hitting that subscribe button to learn more about terrifying things found in abandoned buildings. Alex Archibald, a person who owns a shop that sells old things in Canada, bought all the stuff in a house thinking he wouldn't find much. Little did he know, he got a big surprise awaiting him. Turns out, the house belonged to a person who thought piano, and it had lots of valuable things. There were gold rings, really old clothes from famous brands, and even bars of silver. Pretty amazing, right? What's even more surprising is that he actually just wanted to see a car in her garage at first. This happened recently, not a long time ago. Nick DeMola, a person who helps remove old things in New York, got a big surprise in an old apartment. He found more than what he thought he would. There was an old barrel that nobody wanted anymore, but inside it, he found really old things from the Mayan people who lived a long time ago. This is something that happened not too long ago. It's like a cool adventure. This reminds us that sometimes even things that we don't think are important can have a special story to it. It's like finding a treasure where we least expect it. Jared Whipple also found something, a bunch of artworks which he didn't know were millions of dollars. This happened not too long ago. It's like a surprise adventure. This reminds us that anywhere, even in the corners of a house or in the top part, an attic, there might be really special things just waiting to be found. In Virginia, a bunch of old comic books from 1938 to 1941 got sold for a huge $3.5 million, and in another place, a person named Scott Amos was cleaning his old home when he was a kid. And guess what? He found a really old video game that was still in a sealed box. It had been forgotten for many years. It's really like a surprise treasure for the guy. This reminds us that even in things we used to play with can become super valuable if we keep them safe. Sometimes cool things we discover aren't really old, like when a cleaning lady who found a special penny from the 1930s just hiding under a carpet. And there's a story about a couple in New York who found stuff worth $52,000 inside a rusty safe in their backyard. It shows us that even in our own places, we might find awesome things that have been hiding for a while in plain sight. A treasure was found hidden in Germany, which dated back a really long time ago, like the 14th century. Turns out, it's worth a lot of millions, and there's a story about a farmer who found a rusty sword. Even though it looked old, that sword was super important in history. History is full of amazing stories just waiting for us to hear them again. It's like going on a time travel adventure. In an old Parisian apartment, a masterpiece of Anne-Marie Bouchardon was waiting to be discovered. The apartment, which hadn't been opened for 70 years, held treasures that harked back to the era of World War II. After hearing these stories, it's clear that treasures aren't always buried deep under the sea. They could be right under our noses, in our attics, backyards, or even in the trash. The thrill of discovery is what makes these stories so captivating. So, what would you do if you stumbled upon such a fortune? Always remember, you never know what's waiting just around the corner. Maybe, just maybe, the next big discovery could be yours.